Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Out of Combat. We're discussing episode 36. I almost said episode 36 and beyond, but episode 36 and before, because anything after 36 hasn't happened yet, so we can't talk about it.
Or has it?
Oh, it's all, yeah. I'm here with Mac and Cheese Please, who plays Taj. I'm here with Nina Nikolic, aka Kid Kerrigan, who plays Cooter. And I am Max, and I play everybody else. It's not a character. So welcome here.
Play our favorite character. It was like Titty something. What was his name? Tinkleton?
Tinkle McTinkerton.
I think that you're referring to Pipperninkle Tinkerton, the old gnome man, of course.
None of the words we said.
Tinkerton.
Yeah, close enough, right? It was close enough.
It's like Pumpernickel, but he's a Pimpernickel, and it's a Tinkerton because he's a tinkerer.
He used to be.
Yeah.
What's fun about this is we found out right after we ended the session that Max made that person up on the spot.
Yeah.
Max, how do you do it?
It's one of those things where like I want to have the world feel alive, and like I didn't want y'all just like sitting there in front of this closed shop and like I wonder when it's going to open. Should we leave or whatever? Just like give people like free to talk to get information, because like it's a super busy city, right? You're not just like walking around on your own. And like in my mind, I'm like, who gets up super early? Like retired people, like people that are, you know, they get up early. So I was like, okay, well, there's this shop here. It's an old gnome guy, and he sells like trinkets. And when y'all had the extended conversation, which is hilarious, that I just slipped my mind that Hayden always happens to talk with old dudes. which is funny.
He was like, why is it always old people? And then you're like, it is.
Yeah, I was like, it is. Is that a me thing? Yeah, but I thought it would just be funny, like, because then I didn't expect y'all to go in and like peruse and like buy some stuff, which was super cool. And then just kind of just went from there. And then I was like, okay, well, let's do some RP with Nina and like see where that goes. So it was just kind of fun a fun end.
It's funny really because I think it was Emmy or like Bun who was like, is he flirting with you? And then you're like, yeah, he is. And in my mind, I was like, no, he's not. Like, I just like don't pick up on flirtatious like talkings, you know? Mm-hmm. And then as soon as you said, yeah, I was like listening for it. And then like but when are you free? Like, I want to hang with you. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what flirting is. I've learned now.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, you can come meet all my friends in a public place.
Yeah. Which in my mind, this old gnome is like, I have to meet all of her family, like just to go like have a like a little drink. He's like, I don't know about all that. Like, it was just fun. Like
yeah,
it was really silly.
Just fun.
And that we had a really intense conversation that nearly came to someone's throat getting slit.
No. Yeah. What are you talking about?
I was terrified. I was going to go full grandma.
And be like, no violence.
I can't take it. Yeah, no, don't fight and you don't do it. But it turned out really well, actually, in the end. Everyone was rightfully scared. We didn't know if we had a mole in the house or a mouse in the house or a mole with a mouse on it. I don't know. Or a mouse with a mole on it. Who knows?
Even. What I want to know from each of you as players, we'll start with you, Mac. What do you think is going on? Like, and I know you weren't here last episode, so you're getting everything kind of like based on the recap and what's going on. And then we'll move to Nina. But like, what do you think's going on here?
Yeah, so I was definitely more of an observer this episode because I wasn't here last time. So I was kind of just playing catch up. So from what I gather, like, we think that there's a mole on the ship, and we've uncovered this like weird diary that's like a sending diary. I think the pages that are being written is a code. Like if it's like, we're on the sea, blah, 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 blah. Like there's words in between words kind of thing. Or like whoever the receiver is has a list of like C means this means this, and it might look really innocent, but it's not, is kind of where my head's at, because and only because, and I didn't know this as a player, when you said detect magic doesn't work in metal boxes, and that you specifically said this box was metal, and you pointed that out, like those two things together. And so what could have just been honestly an innocent diary is no longer innocent because it's hidden behind something that goes you can't detect stuff with it, right? So now it's not innocent. Now it's deliberate. And I'm interested to see whose that is, because we'll find out, I think, a lot more. And then I think part of it too is like Taj invites everybody on the crew,
Yeah.
and we've not been doing background checks. So
that's true.
It's like, well, who is this on the crew? Like, it's not one of us, one of the mains, that we know of. So it's interesting to see who's talking to who and why.
Yeah, for sure. Like, all valid. And the reason why I gave you that info is like, on like the very end of detect magic, it says all that stuff. And that's one of those things that's like, y'all can cast this stuff. How your own spell works, but as players, you don't have every spell like memorized and in front of you and stuff. That's why I kind of threw that in there to kind of help connect those dots. Yeah. What about you, Nina? Like, what the F's going on the unfortunate?
Oh, a lot. And everything's just so sus. Like, everything is so sus. Like, it was the amount of extravagant expense that someone went to, money-wise, time-wise, distance, to kidnap Hayden, who was I mean, to be fair, they didn't turn him into stone. That was a convenient accident on our part. But the fact that they went to the effort to see him in someone's backyard, know that it was him, take his stone ass body in a cart, on a boat, across the freaking ocean to the Gilded Atoll, and also depetrify him, and also interrogate him about his family, which like most people kind of know, like the backstory, like it's not that, like, his family wasn't super famous or anything, but it's kind of like enough to kind of know that it's like, yeah, they went out to sea, never came back, kind of thing. So it's like, it's so sus, because it's like, are they still alive? Is someone else that he knew? We learned about his background now, that potentially some of his really good family friends are part of the Conservancy, and maybe they have something to do with it, because people change over time and get brainwashed and do crazy things. So who knows? But it's like, at what cost? Like, what is the motivation behind getting him on our ship? Is it just to take out another pirate ship? Like, because maybe for the Conservancy that is worth that amount, that cost. But if that's the case, why not just take out our ship where we were at? Why take Hayden somewhere else? Like, there are so many questions that we can't even begin to fathom, like, where those threads start, other than this freaking diary. So when we find out, we just want someone. Yeah, we just want someone to touch it, so that we could just be like, aha.
Yeah, I mean, you're asking like all of the right questions. Like, all that stuff is definitely sus. It's just, what do you do with it right now?
Exactly. Like, what is within our reach that we can actually like control to get more information about it, but also like, it's like, once we find out who's connected to this diary, like, what then? Where do we go from there? And sometimes there are little things like these notes, and we're like, is that a red herring that Max threw at me? Am I remembering this for no reason?
Yeah.
No. I don't. I can't say that I don't throw red herrings, because I did.
Yeah, because like the old man in the store, is it like, oh, am I supposed to ask him more questions? Does he know something? Like, and it's like, no, I just made him up on the spot. Oh, okay.
I mean, you never know. That's the tough thing. So
I know, exactly.
you're asking all the right questions. I'm just curious to
Keeping us on our
see.
toes.
Yeah, just interested to see like where y'all go with it. I mean, y'all got a lot of stuff going on too.
There's and like that's just what's going on here. There's
Like
other threads that like
episode.
we haven't even been able to like touch because we're like, all right, we're on this little like a hunt for all these little items.
Yeah,
We're getting these items, and then there's other quests that are happening while we're trying to get these items, and all these items were for things that happened like episode 5, episode 7. You know, so it's like. There's still so much more to unravel. And I was actually saying this, like, this was episode 36.
Yeah.
But it feels like we just started. Like,
it feels like
we only wrapped up like really small, minuscule quests that opened up bigger quests, like helping that kid get his shitty thing, like helped us see other things, you know.
Then you turn their back on him.
That kid was stupid, so whatever. No,
he was a nice kid. He was a nice young man.
The little ninja.
No, about like the kid who's like daddy paid for him for like, oh, he needs to get his blah blah blah. We're gonna pay his way. It's just like rich parents paying for.
He had to do his pilgrimage up to the.
Oh no! Him. Yeah, the ninja
Mount Cabradon.
boy. He kept like appearing where we didn't know he was at.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's why you went.
Like, what about that kid? And he's like, what? What do you want? Can I help? And we're like, oh,
yeah. Then you took some stuff from is it grandfather's safe, uncle's safe? I need to go back and make sure. But you took
daddy's safe.
Yeah, it wasn't his daddy. No,
grandfather or something.
Took it from the safe. Turned your back on all them priests, and we're like, "F you, we got ours." Like, see ya.
No.
No, that is something interesting though. That getting all the items to get this scroll for Nock from Taj's friend over in the Blackrend Cove.
We're trying to get 2 scrolls.
You only have one item for the other scroll that has some high dollar value items.
Yeah.
But first for this one, that's to open up the first stage of the Cryptex Arcanum, which we're calling the Orby in the group.
Yeah, the Orby. Well, and this is the first time you've ever said this. You said first stage.
Mm-hmm.
So is this like some puzzle box, like where it's like, okay, now do this, and you're like, you son of a bitch. Like,
I think we knew something. I remember that like puzzle box concept being thrown around at some point, but it was so long ago, like before the Hayden shenanigan.
Oh yeah,
because the Hayden shenanigan lasted so long that it feels like now's the start because we finally got Hayden back. So it's like, oh, okay, now we can reboot as a party.
So what I want to know, and let's reach back like 20 episodes or however the hell long it is you got the Orby as some kind of little puzzle ball. Then you had to make an Arcana check first, and then you have to cast a spell. Like with this thing, you know where y'all got it in the weird. I almost said the magic castle, but that's not what it was. But you know what I mean, right?
That like that area where that golem creature was?
Yeah. The little Nothik, and you went in, and there was like the robot, and it was like some kind of weird magic place that had some statues that you're like, we don't know who this worship is. That doesn't exist. But anyway, you found this little magic orb in like a secret room and all this stuff. I want to know, like, as a character, like, what is Taj hoping like contains in this thing? Like, what does she think this is going to open up? And then as a player, like, what do you want it to be? Like, what are you hoping for too? Because I find that interesting because we haven't talked about that in a long time.
So as a player and as Taj, I wasn't there for that episode. So like, I like weirdly don't have ties to this box because I don't know what it is. Like, like I was there for like us being in the thing, but I wasn't there for when we got it. So I don't know why we have it. I don't know how we got it. All I know is that we got it, and then we like zip zap to the ship, and I was like, wait, what? Well, this doesn't make sense. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's going to do. I'm wondering. So I know you had said a long time ago that so the world that we're playing in is in the same universe as campaign 1.
Yes.
And so I'm kind of hoping that whatever's in the box is kind of tied to campaign 1, you know, where it's like if we're in the future, like this takes us to the past and like why things are kind of the way they are. Is something like I would like to see a cool connection like that. Because like as a listener and a viewer, like, you know, that I know that we know that it's from campaign 1, but as a character, we would be like, what is this past technology? I don't know. You know, I don't know.
That was,
what about
I think
you, Nina?
You got the orb in episode 15, by the way.
Well, I don't remember that far back. That's been 35 days.
Yeah.
Which I honestly don't remember. I feel like I'm mixing up my magical boxes and artifacts at this point.
Yeah, and there was a bit of inner confusion as you had 2 magical things. So, which I'm going to call it the Orby. We all know what that means. The Orby is where you got in the magic castle. The other thing was a sealed box, and you have no idea what was inside of it other than it was some crazy artifact.
That was the heist that like that was our the secondary characters stole.
Yes, you got the Orby and the heist box, so that we got them all separated. So I guess, I mean, yeah, Cooter would be interested in that Orby too, I would assume.
But I think the heist box is the one that I had the most interest in.
Yeah.
Because it has ties to potentially to my past. So I'm like, I need to see. It's like the only thing she wants, and she can't freaking get it because we keep going on freaking journeys to save freaking Hayden and everyone. She's like, I need to go back to the bar. And now the Azric's patron is like, don't touch that box. You bring it back to me. And I'm like, no.
Well, Azric's patron wants you guys to steal that box back. Because he doesn't like the church people, basically. He doesn't like the gods.
Dangerous.
Well, and that's the same box that Whisper wants too.
Whisper thinks y'all should keep it.
Everybody wants this box, but no one knows what it does.
It's some potentially pre or during the catastrophe, like super like artifact. And the reason why Whisper like says we should keep it is she wants to even the odds against like the Conservancy, right? Because they're basically they just want to wipe out all the magic users and the pirates, and that's why the pirates hide on a secret island and hide themselves and kind of just pillage every once in a while and like get ships. But.
And Cooter and Emmy in general just think it's a really terrible, but really bad idea to mess with this bloody thing because it might have caused the hole in the planet in the first place.
Can I tell you guys something that I really want to do in the game?
Do it.
So you know how Taj keeps recruiting people and now like we're maxed. We have our ship people. There's no more people to recruit. What if we just kept recruiting people and then bought ships and we're like, you pillage for us, make them do our dirty work to repay Blackbeak and like all that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they
like,
have to be our like mobile idle game people.
And you're like subcontracting.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that your lease allows you to do that first, but
make sure what?
Make sure you can do that in your lease because you're subletting.
Oh.
But also we have to have enough money for that.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get so much money from this. Like
we're
artifact.
going to have to leave some petty thieves on the Gilded Atoll to like just slowly. So we've got to start. It's like The Sims, right? We have to start from petty theft and pickpocketing, and then we have to we level up a little bit, and then eventually we can get another ship there.
But like honestly.
So here's the thing is they all haven't thought about is like that huge windfall of money when you sell this. Like, yeah, you owe money to Blackbeak. Like magic items, cool. You can upgrade your ship too. and there are magical ship items out there as well for your ship. So, or you could get a bigger ship, right? Like possibilities are endless. You just got to decide where you want to do with all that capital.
Do we have enough money?
Arc.
Do we have enough money to buy a magical item for our ship and buy a new ship and also pay some money to Blackbeak? Because I want to buy a little, like another. I'm like trying to make an empire here. Like, we can't be we're these pirates that no one's ever heard of without a fleet. And we start our fleet, and then it's like pyramid scheme, but for pirates, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It's all possible. But like I said, like you're under Blackbeak, so then it's Blackbeak's decision to like expand the fleet. But if you get a bigger boat, that's going to cost money. But there's nothing that says that once y'all get on your own or figure that out, that you just can't have a whole fleet on your own. You can do your like Dread Pirate Lord fantasy all you want. I'm for it. Like,
well, why do we have to ask Blackbeak? Why can't we just have a
you
fleet?
You can do it. See what she says. Sure.
Yeah, she doesn't even know. It's just kind of like the other thing. And then they give us money and then we pay. Like, it's fine. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if the gold will stretch that far because you said a magical ship item, pay money to Blackbeak, and buy a whole new ship. So
a small ship.
You're on a small ship. Like that's the small ship. You have like the smallest ship available. Like I could maybe be a pirate. That's the ship that you guys have.
But hear me out. What about if the petty thieves have a rowboat with a little flag on it to start? Yeah. It's like a starter ship, you know? It's like the size of one of the lifeboats.
Gotcha.
I like it.
So if I'm a merchant carrying all sorts of goods on a big old ship and I see a little rowboat with a flag that says please stop, I ain't stopping.
You're just like, or they like row up real quick and like sneak on like not buy, but like get a couple things and then sneak off, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, hey, you let me know what criminal enterprises that you want to start, you know, send me a message and we'll figure it out.
The world is our oyster.
Yeah. It's sandbox and y'all get to play in it. So whatever you want to do. But speaking of that, I think that should be good for our out of combat this evening. And we'll let you all think of your criminal mastermind ideas you have at play. But with that, if you have any other things that you want to know during our out of combat sessions, you can go to discord.gg/casters and cantrips. And there's a little channel in there that says out of combat questions. And we will answer your questions for you if we can. With that being said, thanks everybody and have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, night, whatever. Bye.
Bye.